As head of the biggest OECS economy, are you willing to take the lead on standardization and harmonization of pricing?
Yeah, Sanusha has indicated that from the get-go.
So what's holding it up?
There has to be a discussion, So unfortunately, everybody's been extremely busy.
But
and that's not an excuse. I mean, that's legitimately been the case.
While I think everybody involved in CBI in the Caribbean recognizes that each sovereign state has a right to do as they please with the price of their CIP, I think they all simultaneously recognize that it's in everybody's interest to not keep lowering to undercut each other, because that harms the whole market. Now, that sort of downward spiral in pricing is very difficult to stop unless you have a top-level accord among these countries saying, okay, we're fixing a base price and we'll agree to not go below that, at least for a period. Now everybody is saying that that's what should be done, but in practice it looks difficult. It looks as though politicians in certain countries are taking what some would describe as a short-term view of things in order to raise revenue. What do you think can be done to get to that type of agreement between the countries to not lower prices further?
Well, we've seen tremendous amount of progress in terms of standards. So there is a council. The current chair of the council is Les, who's the head of the SINKIDS program.
Sam Raphael calls it upselling CBI investors.
Yeah.
Basically, he's saying, let's not compete on price. Let's differentiate ourselves on different dimensions.
Yeah.
Let's offer additional things. But that works best if the prices are the same.
Not really. At the end of the day, the price, because CIPs are growing and they're becoming more familiar, that people will then start understanding that citizenship by itself is just the first step. So if it's just about getting a second passport, it's a commodity.
We used the analogy earlier of the oil fund in Norway and the citizenships in the Caribbean or in St. Lucia. And the idea behind the oil funds, not just in Norway, but other countries that have those deposits, is that they see the resource as a temporary stream of revenue. And they want to save up that money and then redeploy it into something more long-term. And it seems to me that's sort of similar to what you're doing in St. Lucia. So first of all, my question is, do you recognize that or do you see citizenship by investment as a temporary revenue stream? And how are you planning to leverage that into something more long-term?
I don't think it's necessarily whether it's a long-term or a short-term. The fact is it's something that's not within your control. So that's the unpredictability. It's unpredictable, right? So somebody drops the price by half. You didn't anticipate that coming. It can have an impact on your revenue. So it's not revenue that you can schedule into your budget.
Mr. Prime Minister, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you very much.